Sound check. Sound check. Hey, okay. So we are about to start our Friday morning practice. You can be sitting in a chair. You can be on the floor. So wherever you are, we're going to be sitting a little bit on the edge of the chair or your blanket. Comfortable seat. I'm going to roll the shoulders up and away from the ears. Keeping the chest lifted. We'll drop the nose down toward the floor. Eyes are closed or soft. Just starting to let go of what may be going on this morning. Anything that may be vying for your attention in the mind. Try to let that go. And instead, opening to an awareness of the body. Feeling the weight of the body pressing down into the earth or the chair. And feeling those supports, the earth or the chair, pushing back, holding you easily. And feel the connection of your inner body to your outside environment. Can you sense the interplay of your breath moving in and out of the body? Perhaps heat exchange through the skin. Exploring the relationship of your body with your environment. And take a couple more breaths here, deepening the breath, breathing all the way down into the belly. And on your next inhale, slowly open the eyes and come back into your space. All right, let's do a side bend. We'll take that left hand down, right hand up and over. So if you're in that chair, you're holding the chair. It's kind of reaching, but keeping that opposite hip down. On inhale, we'll come one up from there and over to the other side. So that right hand down, the left hand up and over. Inhale, and back up to center. Let's take the hands back. If you're in the chair, grab a hold of the chair. I'm going to draw the shoulders back and down, tip the pelvic bone a little bit forward, and maybe come into a little bit of a back bend. You might look up or behind, or just straight ahead if the neck doesn't like that. Inhale, we'll come on back up. Let's interlace those fingers and press the hands forward and up and over the head. Elbows straight, shoulders down the back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll bring the hands back down, change the interlace of the fingers, and then forward and up. And we'll bring the hands back down. Let's take the hands to the shoulders, and we're going to draw circles with the elbows, really big circles here. Keeping the breath flowing. And we'll speed it up here. So you can go a little faster. And we'll pause this direction, start slow, go the other direction. And then speeding it up so you can go faster. Still doing big circles. Keeping the breath flowing, feeling the heat in the body. And then we can release with the hands down. Let's circle at the waist. So I'm going to roll around the hips here. You might play with going a little faster, see what that feels like. Now pause in that direction, moving slowly to start. We'll go the other way. And then you can play with speeding it up, going a little faster. And then working our way back to center. Let's take a turn. So nice and long on the spine. We're going to twist around the spine toward the left. Inhale, come on back through center, and exhale to the other side. And on the inhale, we'll come on back to center. Now, if you're in the chair, you're going to pick up your left foot, you're going to place it on your right knee, and that knee is going to be bent if you're sitting in the chair. Left foot on right knee, and if you can't quite get the foot all the way up there, then you'll cross down at your shins. If you're on the floor, you're going to extend that right leg long. I probably confused you all with the mirroring. Right leg will be extended and your left leg will be on top. So the left leg on top, right leg either extended, or if you're sitting in the chair, the knee is bent and that foot is right underneath of your knee. And if that doesn't work, again, if you're in the chair, you can cross at the shins. All right. So from here, hips, you're going to hinge at the hips, keep your shoulders back. We're going to come on forward. So if you're on the floor, it's making sure that you're not rounding too much. And actually, if you're in the chair too, we don't want to round the spine. We're trying to keep your shoulders back, leading more with your chest. If you are on the floor and your shoulders are well behaved, you might be able to reach down and grab that foot. I'm going to breathe here. Inhale, come on back up from there. And I'm going to turn toward the left. So I'm going to turn toward the knee. You can use your opposite hand against that knee as leverage. And if you're in the chair, you can use the back of the chair to help you turn. Inhale. We'll come on back to center. So we're going to switch legs. So you're either extending or just releasing down in the bent knee on that other side. Bring the opposite foot up onto your knee or crossing at the shins. Trying to keep the hips evenly on your surface. We're going to come on over here. And again, if you're on the floor, you might be able to reach down and grab that foot. Inhale, come on, back up from there. And then taking a turn toward the bent knee side, dropping that opposite arm down, using that as leverage, and turning. And inhale, come on back to center. All right, we are going to work our way up. So if you're on a chair, work your way up standing. If you're on the floor, come on up and clear your mat. You're going to stand in Tadasana, mountain pose, connecting your feet with the floor, shoulders back and down. I'm going to soften the eyes here and just rock a little forward and back. Lift and spread your toes. Kind of really feeling the feet on the floor. You can rock your feet left and right. Toes spreading, toes settling and lifting. Rocking around on your feet. You might even lift your heels a little off the floor in your rock. Keeping the eyes kind of soft here. Trying to use less of the visual stimulus, more of your connection with your feet. You're feeling down on your feet for your balance. I'm going to start to make this rocking a little bit bigger. Try to lift the heels. So as you come forward, you're going to start to come up. So push into your toes, lifting the heels, and then setting them back down. Lift and lower. Still keeping that gaze soft, opening the eyes as you need so you don't fall over. See how high you can lift on your toes. How high can you come up, ballerina style? A couple more here. All right, next time you settle your heels down, you'll stay settled. It's breathing down into the feet, using the whole foot now, actively pushing down into the floor, toning the muscles of the legs, pulling now up into the core. And then lift those arms up and over the head. The eyes can be open now if they're closed. I'm going to pause here actually with the shoulders, the hands shoulder width apart. Elbows straight. Notice what that having your arms overhead did to your balance. So you can come back to your feet. Finding that center line, drawing in abdominals in, shoulders back and down, elbows straight. Breath here, breath in the body. And then we'll bring the palms together. We're going to tip now right down to the side to the right, crescent pose. Inhale, back up to center and crescent pose, other side. So you're coming down this side here. On inhale, come on back up and release the hands now down to the waist here. We're going to do a little circling, a little hula hooping, starting slow. Let's see what the back's doing. And you might try speeding it up, faster hula hoop. I'm going to pause that direction, slow hula hoop the other way. And speeding it up, faster hula hoop on the side. And then coming on back to center. Let's come into a warrior one. So we're going to take that right foot forward, left foot back. I'm going to square the hips toward what's in front. Both feet strong on the floor. Going to bend your front knee, tailbone down, and we'll take those arms up and overhead, elbows straight. Warrior one. As I move my chair here, hopefully that'll give me more light. From here, you're going to keep rooting into your back foot nice and strong. You can try and keep your arms over your head. We're going to lean forward. Now, if this is too strong on your shoulders, then bring the hands down to the hips. So I'm going to push into the back foot, taking more weight into the front foot, strong in the legs. A couple of breaths here. On inhale, we're going to come on back up to our warrior one. I'm going to take this into a back bend. So you could keep your hands over your head, start to draw a line across the ceiling. You could also bring your hands to your lower back, tailbone down, lifting the chest. Either way, if it feels okay to look up, you could. If you need to look down for balance, then please do. Legs are strong. Breath is flowing. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then we'll come on back up. I guess one breath here in warrior one. And then we'll release the hands. We're going to switch the feet. So step your back foot forward and your front foot back. Squaring the hips to what's in front, bending that front knee, tailbone down. When you're ready, arms up for warrior one on this side. connecting with your feet, with the legs. And keeping strong into your back foot, we'll lean forward here. Again, option, you could take your hands down to the hips. Both legs are strong. If you want a little more, come down a little lower. On an inhale, we'll come on back up into our warrior one. And then the back bend here. So you could just take the hands along the ceiling, lifting the chest. You can also bring your hands to your lower back, tailbone still down. And again, lifting the chest, back bend. On an inhale, we'll come on back up to our warrior one. And then we'll release. We'll step the feet together about hip distance apart. Line up the outside edges of the feet. And take the hands to the hips, and then we'll bend the knees, coming down. And inhale, pushing the feet, come on up. Exhale, bend the knees, coming down. Pushing the feet, come up. Exhale, coming down. One more here. Inhale, pushing the feet, come up. Exhale, down and hold for chair pose. Tailbone toward the floor. Abdominals in, shoulders back, and if you're okay with all of that, arms up. If you want a little more, little kid chair, come on down. And push into your feet, come on up and release. Good. We're going to work a little bit on balancing. So for balancing, you could use a piece of furniture. You might have the back end of a chair. You might have a wall. If you're in a corner like me, you have both. Or just being near something just in case. Or if you're free-forming it, that's good too. I'm going to start by tree pose on the right foot. So you're going to root that right foot down. Finding your balance on just that right foot with the other toes down to start. Just kind of seeing, where am I? Where's my balance here today? And then slowly you're going to start to lift the heel of your left foot, turning your knee out to the side. Now you might keep the toes down, or you might be able to bring that foot to the inner shin or the inner thigh. Again, use your support as needed. And root down into that right leg, nice and tall in the body, reaching up to the top of the head. And the hands anywhere that works. Could be hips, could be heart, could be over your head. Just finding your challenge for today. Keeping the breath flowing into the nose and down to the nose. Yeah, it's a cat, not a child, in case you're curious. My cat is making noises. All right, so we're going to come on out on that side. And work our way to the other side. Again, using whatever support you need. Piece of furniture, chair. Left leg is now the standing legs. Just like we did, we were feeling the feet on the floor before when we were rocking. See if you can engage the feet muscles here too. Engaging feet muscles, leg muscles on the left side. Finding that ground and then working your way into the posture. Taking your right knee out. And again, that foot might be up on your shin. It might be up to the inner thigh. Trying to keep the knee out if it's up. Finding your challenge place for today. Your hands could be anywhere. And not holding the breath in your balance. Good. And then we'll come on out with control. You can clear your mat again if there's anything on it. Going back to standing. Let's take the arms up. Inhale up. Exhale, palms together. I'm going to bring the palms together down the center of spine. Exhaling. I'm going to bow here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, I'm going to take a bit of a bow. It's coming down to a comfortable level. Inhaling up. You might start to open into a back bend. Exhaling down the center of the spine, coming into a bow. Something that's comfortable, easy for you to come back up. Maybe coming to a little more of a back bend if that feels all right. Exhaling, hands down the back, synchronizing with your breath. Might be faster or slower than me. A couple more here. Nice full breaths. And your next one. The next time that you're exhaling down into your bend, you come into an Uttanasana standing forward bend. So you can release the hands down. You're going to lift the tailbone up toward the ceiling, dropping that upper body down toward the floor. Head can hang. I'm going to take a slight bend in the knees, abdominals in, rolling one vertebrae at a time. We'll come on back up to standing. Now, for this next one, you'll need a piece of furniture or a wall. We're going to come into a downward facing dog on with support. So, for example, you could use the back of a chair. If you have a higher back chair, it's even better. You'll be bringing both hands onto your support and walking back far enough so that you can start to drop down between your arms. Drop your head down between your arms. Now, if you're doing this on a wall, you bring the hands about shoulder height, shoulder distance apart. And then you're going to start to walk back here and drop, again, the head down toward the floor, even through the arms, dropping your chest down. So the higher you can get the hands, the stronger it will be. And you can, again, use any piece of furniture, chair. Obviously, if your hands are on the seat of a chair, you're going to have to go pretty far low in order to find that stretch, but it's still doable on a seat of a chair. What I want you to feel is in your shoulders, and so you can use whatever you've got available for you. Finding a stretch in your shoulders where your head and chest are dropping down toward the floor. You can really feel a connection here. Nice breathing. Once you found that, breathing. I want you to think about the outsides of your arms, your shoulders, the outer edges. If that was to roll down toward the floor more, if you could do that, try to roll down, outer edges down, and this will help to broaden the shoulders away from each other across the upper back. One more breath here, just really feeling into the shoulders. And then you'll walk toward your supports. Come on back up. Release the arms. I'm going to allow the arms to relax down. I'm going to twist around the spine. Let the arms just flop around. And then coming on back to center. We're going to work our way down onto the floor. And you can be sitting on the edge of a blanket here. Get my camera to come down a little more. Maybe not. All right, do it one more time. Okay, maybe not. I'll just try and scoot back. I'm going to start in a seated forward bend. So just going to extend the legs long here. Coming into staff pose. So staff pose, legs are long, toes are up, hands are back by the hips, abdominals in. I'm going to tip that pelvic bone forward enough, not into a full back bend here, but forward enough that you can feel some support of the lower lumbar spine. Reaching up to the top of the head like you're balancing a bowl or a plate on your head. Shoulders back and down. Super long in the torso, super long in the legs. From here, we're going to hinge at the hips, keeping everything upright in the upper body, and lean forward. So you're going to try and lead with the heart. Don't round the shoulders. Breathing here. If your shoulders can behave, the hands are free. You might reach down, grab a hold of your feet or legs. These AI cameras don't always recognize the signals. Just breathing here in your forward bend. So you gotta think about isometrically drawing from your heels to your tailbone. So it's like you're pushing that tailbone back behind you. inhale, we'll come on up from there. Now let's draw the soles of the feet together for a Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees open, chest lifted. Come forward here. On inhale, we'll come on up. I'm going to draw the knees together and extend that left leg out, right leg in, coming into a side bend here. So you're going to take your right hand and lean down, going down the length of the leg, and maybe dropping down toward the inside edge, really trying to get this whole side body as low as you can over that leg. You want to bring your right hand to your right hip, draw the shoulder back, starting to open the chest toward the ceiling. So eventually the back of the body drops down over the left leg and the chest opens here. And your shoulder, if you can stay back, that hand is free. It could come up over your head, all the way over your head, find your toes, or it could just stay on the hip. On inhale, we'll come on up from that side. And then draw that knee in. We'll switch to the other side, extending that other leg, drawing the foot in. Toes up on your extended leg. And take that hand down the length of the leg, maybe even dropping a little toward the inside edge. And your opposite hand to your hip, opening the chest, rolling over the length of that extended leg. Again, that opposite arm here, hand is free if the shoulder stays back. On inhale, we'll come on back up from there. You can draw that knee in, both feet on the floor here. And if you're up on that blanket, I'm going to scoot forward so that you're off of your blanket. And turn around here so you can see. Kind of bring your hands back behind. I'm just going to drop your knees from one side to the other. I guess I'm going to fix this camera. Yeah. Now if you start walking forward as you're doing this, you can always scoot back. Just drop the knees one side and the other. And coming back to center. And I come down now onto your back. So all the way down. And if you have a strap, you should go ahead and grab that or have it close by. Grabbing a strap, just having it close by. I'm going to do a couple things first. So coming onto your back, knees bent, feet on the floor, and walking your feet a little bit closer into the hips, trying to line up the outside edges so that they're parallel. You're going to bring your hands down by the hips, shoulders down, and draw your shoulder blades together. So you're going to push into your elbows to draw your shoulders a little more toward each other and set them down. And then press the tops of your shoulders actively down into the floor. You should feel a little bit of a back bend coming into the body. From here, I'll push into the feet and lift the hips straight up toward the ceiling. Active feet, active shoulders, bridge pose. Breathing here. Walk. If you want a little more here, you could just stay where you are. If you want a little more, you could walk your elbows a little bit toward each other and set them down, and then bend your elbows so your hands come up by your hips. And then see if you can lift up high enough to start to take your hands underneath of your hips. So then the chest will start to come in more toward your chin. Of course, it's completely optional. You can keep those hands down. And breathing here. If you can't bring your hands under your hips, you're going to actively push your shoulders down. Again, look at the ceiling. Breath is flowing. And a release. We're going to lower the hips all the way down to the floor. I'm going to pick up the feet and draw the knees in. I'm going to bring your hands to your knees or shins, starting to pull the feet in. You could rock side to side. And then coming back to center here, I'm going to grab a hold of your strap. And let's lasso the left foot. So I'm going to kick the left foot up toward the ceiling. And then let's kick the right foot up next to it. So your left foot is got the strap on it. Your right foot is up and a knee is straight. You're going to press through the heel of your right foot, toes towards your nose, keeping that leg super long. We're going to extend that leg forward and lower it all the way down to the floor. So right leg comes down, toes still up, left foot still over your head. And then using your arm strength, you're going to start to pull your foot more over your head. And you can even take your elbows up and over your head. Starting to get some separation between the legs, both knees straight. And now from here, I'm going to take both straps in that same left hand as the leg. I'm going to drop that leg out to the side. Now try to keep your right side down. You can even put your hand on your right hip, opening the leg as much as it wants to go toward the left. Now you could be starting to pull the left foot up in line with your left shoulder by walking that hand a little more down the strap. Inhale, we'll bring that foot back up toward the ceiling. We're going to switch, holding the strap with your opposite hand. Cross the leg all the way over toward the right. So you're going to roll onto your outer right hip. Open the left chest, left arm down toward the floor. Get a nice twist in the body. Inhale, roll on back to center. I'm going to switch. So bring your right foot up, slip that into the strap. And keep your left foot up toward the ceiling for a second. So I'm going to make sure your spine is centered, so adjust the hips as you need. Holding your strap with both hands around your right foot, I'm going to press your left heel toward the ceiling, toes towards your nose, nice and long on that leg. Now lower it down to the floor. So left leg down, right foot up and over your head. And here you could bend your elbows and start to take that right foot a little more over your head. Alright, from here, we're going to take both straps in the right hand. Left hand flips down to the left hip. Root the left side down and drop that right leg out to the right. And again, you could walk your hands down the strap a little more toward your foot. And then I'll start to bring your right foot a little more in line with your shoulder. Inhale, we'll bring that foot back up to center. We're going to switch, holding with the left hand. We'll take that foot all the way across the body, rolling out onto your left outer hip. And the right shoulder stays down and right side opens. And on inhale, we'll come on back up. You can release your strap now, bending both knees, feet on the floor. See if you can recenter the spine. And we're going to work our way now into Shavasana, so you can extend the legs long and hands down by the side in corpse pose. If you would prefer to do a seated meditation, just come on up and find a comfortable supported position here. It's going to be here for a few minutes, so make sure you're comfortable but still present in the body. Allow the eyes to soften and the face to relax. If you're on the floor in corpse pose, just allow some movement to slowly return to the body. And then if you're on the floor, as you're ready, work your way up to a seated position. Bring the hands together at the heart. Thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and please say hi to everyone on the calls. Check in with each other. Namaste.